So I know those things are supposed to be laxatives, but damn, those things must be strong if they kick in after like 2 seconds. My hair does not want to cooperate today, but I re-dyed it. It looks good, right? So we start the episode, and practical school exams are coming up. They don't have tests or like midterms like we do in America, I guess, but they have a practical exam to kind of like prove that their ultimate is still like in play. They have to do something that's in the same lines as their ultimate like ability. So like say Tetsuo would have to show a new dish or like some amazing dish and like give it to them or something like that. You know, something along those lines. But everyone's kind of like quiet and out of it, and no one's really paying attention. Turns out everyone's still kind of bummed out about what happened with the whole incident about, you know, the murder and, you know, the suicide. So everyone's still shaking him about that. And Komaeda knows this, so he goes to Yukizome and he's like, can you please like tell him to kind of like postpone the exam or like cancel it or something, because I want everyone to take this test when they're on the very best, and right now it's not the right time. Like everyone's busy, everyone's still thinking about that, so can we just not do this for right now? But unfortunately Yukizome can't, because she says that it's going to be covered by the media this year, so you can't just be like, oh, so we're not doing it. So they kind of have to go through with it. So Komaeda is like, alright, cool, I understand. And but right when he walks out, he's like, alright, I understand, I gotta take care of this myself. So it's like, ooh, oh, hey, nice. Really quickly, before all this fancy smanchy stuff that he does, we go to a scene with Nanami playing on the bench, you know, where she and Hinata always meet up. But she's playing with herself, and she says, I guess he's not coming today either, which kind of implies that he's been gone for a while. Obviously, we know that he's accepted the offer to be the test subject, to be the created hope, you know, like they're creating a hope. So he's been out of the game for a while, and he actually does not show up in this episode. So Hinata is out of the game for right now. He'll probably come back later. We'll see what happens here. But I mean, that's sad, because she's like waiting for him, and she's just waiting for him to show up because she misses hanging out with him, I assume. And they're a ship, like they need their time together. But back to Komaeda. So he gets Seiko, if you remember from the future arc, the medicine girl, the ultimate medicine girl, or like drug pharmacist or whatever. She gets her to create a laxative for him. He's just saying that like he's, you know, having stomach problems and he's constipated, so he needs a laxative. But we all know Komaeda, so he has a special hidden agenda, right? At the same time, Ruruka barges in and she's like, oh, so the exam's coming up, so I'm gonna need your help. Can you give me that performance enhancement drug that you've been working on? But Seiko's like, oh, but I mean, I was gonna use that for my practical exam. Like, that was my idea. But Ruruka kind of just like sweet talks her and convinces her to give it to her against her will, basically, honestly, which is kind of mean. I really don't like this girl. She's kind of like, that's my opinion though. But remember, while this is happening, Komaeda is in the back in her little medical storage room, and he picks up both of them and he kind of slips and mixes them up. So he ends up taking the wrong drug. He ends up taking the performance enhancement drug, and then Ruruko ends up taking the laxative. So that'll play later. Ruruko, if you remember from the future arc, is the confectionist girl. Sometime in the future, I don't know if it was the next day, it didn't really explain, or like maybe a week later, Psycho is late because she had to spend the whole night or day, I'm assuming, working on a new project, because again, Ruruko took her project idea and then so she had to think of a new one. So she ends up oversleeping for her practical, so she's booking it, trying to make it in time, and she bumps into Komaeda. Basically what ends up happening is that they switch bags. Real quick though, I really want to put this in here. Psycho sees or Psycho notices Komaeda. He's like, oh, it's you. So did the laxative work? Like, how are you feeling? And then Komaeda is like, oh yeah, it worked. Like, thanks man, it helped a lot and everything. And you just see Psycho's face just like brighten up with so much happiness, and like she's so happy that one of her drugs helped someone else, and like it was useful. Like, oh my god, that was like the sweetest thing ever, just because she's extremely happy that she was able to help someone. And like, I don't know, she's just a really sweet girl. I'm just really sad that she has to deal with Ruruko shit, because Ruruko just seems mean, dude, honestly. We go back with her, and she makes it in time, just in time, to see Ruruko's a practical exam. And what Ruruko did is that she made cream puffs, but she says, oh, not only do they taste amazing, they also have a performance enhancement, which makes you feel like, you know, like pumped, like gives you energy just by eating these things. But we know that since Komaeda mixed up the drugs, instead of putting a performance enhancement, she stuck laxatives inside the cream puffs. So, damn. The judges are like, oh man, oh, these taste amazing. They have a whole Food Wars moment, like they take a bite out of it, and they like, you know, have a Food Wars moment for like 2 seconds, and then the laxative kicks in, and they're like, oh. So the judges are freaking out, and Ruruko's freaking out. She's like, whoa, what's going on? And then Saiko's freaking out because she's like, whoa, is that the laxative? What? Ruruko's furious. She thinks that Saiko set her up, you know, she thinks Saiko set her up, so she's really pissed off, and she's like blaming her for everything, and she's like, oh, it's your fault, this and this and this, which honestly, dude, come on, you didn't even do anything, so like, don't complain. So the judges then look at Saiko, and she's like, wait, you're part of this? So are you the one that wrote the threat letter about the bomb? So now Saiko's being put on blast because the judges all look at her, and she's like, don't worry, I got this. I'll just use one of my pills, and then it'll make you guys feel better. She opens up her bag, which again, remember, was switched bags with Komaeda, and the trigger to the bomb is in the bag. And so then all the judges are like, well, we found the culprit. I mean, she's obviously the bomb person because she has the trigger, so the bomb person. So Ruruka and Saiko start fighting, and if you remember in the future arc, when the reason they're always fighting is because this moment, like this was the ultimate moment that, you know, they were childhood friends and now they're worst enemies for life. I'm gonna assume. Back to Komaeda. So I guess his plan was to give the judges laxatives or something, or like a drink as a laxative because he's walking around with drinks. And then he spills one, and this dog that has been walking throughout the whole episode, just back and forth, drinks that. And since it was the performance enhancement drug, the dog grows like huge, like it becomes Clifford the Big Red Dog, apparently. And that thing just breaks inside the gym, and like, well, it's a huge dog, so it makes the girls kind of like trip backwards and land on the trigger for the bomb. And they end up blowing up the gym. So after everything dies down, basically because of all this, Ruruko, Saiko, and Sonnosuke, the blacksmith, ultimate blacksmith, all get expelled from Hope's Peak Academy, which again is really sad because Saiko really did nothing wrong. She is, I would say, the biggest victim in all of this because she did nothing wrong. She was trying to help her friend, and she got expelled for it. That's honestly, that's sad to me. I don't know about you guys, but I feel really bad for her. So Komaeda is in talks to get expelled from Hope's Peak as well, but since he technically didn't really do anything, because like, you know, he never did anything, he's technically kind of off the hook. They let him easy. So this is the compromise. Komaeda is suspended from school for a indefinite amount of time. The homeroom teacher, you know, the original teacher, Kizakura, is on probation, and Yukizome is being transferred to the reserve course. So, yeah. Also, the practicals end up being postponed. All in all, Komaeda got what he wanted, to be honest. Which is funny because Kizakura is like, damn, luck is kind of scary, and it is, because yeah, Komaeda ended up getting what he wanted, so it's a win for him. So Yukizome walks back to class, and this is what makes her such an amazing person and an amazing teacher, and this is why I like her a lot in this series. She's obviously worried. She's sad that she's gonna get transferred, but she, right before walking into the classroom, she puts on a brave face and a smile, and she walks in class and she's like, hey, good morning everyone, like nothing is wrong. But the kids know better than this. They've all heard what's happening, and everybody's like freaking out, and they're like, oh, you're leaving us, why don't go, please, we want you to stay. Which it's kind of a strong moment, I think, because if you remember, in the beginning of the series, these kids didn't even show up to class. They didn't even give a damn about the school, and they didn't even care about coming to class. But because of Yukizome, they're all there, they're all together, and they're all sad that she has to go. Like, they don't want her to go. Which, I'm not a teacher, right? Like, I'm not qualified to be a teacher, but I would assume, or I would feel that that is the ultimate happiness of being a teacher, like to impact kids' lives and change them for the better, and like have them be something better than they were before, you know, like to be a driving factor, like to encourage them to be better, you know. So yeah, she kind of says her goodbyes to everyone, and then she turns to the she says her goodbyes to everyone, and she turns to the class representative, Nanami, and she's like, please protect everyone, take care of everybody, and just stick together, and I'll be back. She promises to come back, so we'll see if she keeps her promise or not, but yeah. So in the very end, she's walking to the reserve course, and she calls up Murkata, and she's like, all right, good news. So I'm going to be a teacher to the reserve course. That means I'll be closer to the action, and that way I can have better chance to investigate more. It'll be easier to investigate because I'll be there. And she said it's good news, and like, she's such an awesome person because she's like, it's good news, right? But on the other side, Murkata is like, whoa, for good news, you don't sound too happy. And she's actually crying while saying this because it hurts her that she's leaving her kids behind. Like, to her, these kids kind of like meant everything to her, so it's sad for her to kind of let them go, and she's going to the new class. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole episode in a nutshell. Luck is a scary thing, and I really hope Yukizome comes back to the class because she's such an awesome person, and I'm waiting on Hinata, see what happens to him. I wonder when he'll show up. Probably next episode they'll show him differently. Something will happen, because I'm assuming as of right now he's already in the test, and like they're already doing experiments on him. So we'll see what's up. I'm pretty excited, and we'll see what happens from there. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what we do here, stick around. We have other stuff coming in. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Ja, ma